so surprised and impressed that my body actually feels incredible. If if my toes weren't completely destroyed, like I've just got blisters all over my toes. If my toes weren't destroyed, I honestly don't think I would even feel like I'd done anything. Like my legs feel completely fine. Everything in terms of my body, muscular wise, feels
Hmm.
just absolutely normal, which is mind blowing. I don't know
Wow. Yeah.
how or why. Well, there's a few different elements that I'm drawing upon as to why. But yeah, it's just incredible that I've come away like that. But yeah, my toes are in a really bad way.
Is that what you were expecting? Is that the weak link?
Yeah, so about 5 weeks before, I actually injured my hip flexor and I've had really tight quads. So I was anticipating that my hip
Hmm.
flexors, my quads, my glutes, I was anticipating that all of that was going to take a long time to recover afterwards.
Hmm.
And just general fatigue throughout my body and tiredness, I was really expecting. But yeah, literally like the very next day after finishing the run, my legs are absolutely fine. So yeah, super, super happy about that.
You weren't even so concerned about the physical aspect. You were going to make it. The question is how far, but you're going to make it. What about the mental side? How hard was that pushing yourself through this monotonous activity for 48 hours?
Yeah. Well, so one of the main reasons for me wanting to do this 48-hour treadmill run was because I see running on the treadmill as one of the most mentally challenging things that you could do in terms of a physical challenge.
Hmm.
And I'm super curious about where I can push myself to mentally and how I can get myself out of it. So that was the whole purpose of this, was to investigate that and learn about myself. And it absolutely did what I was expecting. So it was extremely mentally tough, like more
Hmm.
mentally tough than physically. And there was quite a few differences that I wasn't really expecting compared to other long distance running events that I've done. So when I've done previous super long runs, I do experience highs and lows, as you would expect, but they're generally kind of longer. So you might have like a few hours or like 20 or 30 kilometers where you like dip into a dark space and it's
Hmm.
really hard. And just, all of the mental challenges are there and the questions and the doubts and all of that real tough mental side of it would normally last a few hours, and then you kind of pull yourself out of it, and then you might have a high for a few hours. Whereas this on the treadmill was something that I'd never experienced before, that it was kind of like 10, 15 minutes each. High as a kite for 10, 15 minutes, and then like seriously low for 10, 15, and then up and down all the time. So, within the normal period that I might have an altered mood, I was having kind of 4 or 5 or 6 moods within that
Hmm.
normal period. So it was really interesting and unexpected, and must have seemed completely insane to everybody that was around me and observing it. But that was really interesting to experience and to problem solve how you can get yourself out of this. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
what I was expecting, but in a very different way.
So I asked my friends, what should I ask? What's the, and then one of my friends says, "S- she slept for 2 hours. Like, what made her step on the treadmill again after sleeping?" So
Well,
so just for everyone to listen, you had the option to step off and to take a drink or to sleep or rest. It will of course be deducted from your time, and you had 48 hours to break a record, and you
yeah.
took a quick nap. Now I'm asking, you woke up after that very probably unresting and nerving nap, and you thought, of course I'm gonna jump back on. Or was there a moment where you thought, no, I'm just gonna stay here?
Well, so there's two parts to my answer to this. So, firstly, you're correct. I did try to have 2.5 hours sleep. unfortunately, I didn't sleep for any of that time
Oh.
whatsoever. So during the whole 48 hours, I actually slept for 1 minute. That was kind of an accidental sleep that I was surprised that I got, because I kind of came round and I was like, oh, I've just slept for 1 minute. And that was like 2.5 hours before the end. But so I didn't have actually that the 2.5 hours that I gave myself to go to sleep, I actually didn't have any sleep. However, I'd had a massage before. So I had a massage, then went to lie down. And I think just lying down for those 2.5 hours and the massage that I had before was quite an intense massage in the sore areas of my legs. So my quads, my hip flexors, my glutes. Just had quite an intensive massage for maybe 25 minutes before going to lie down for 2.5 hours. And actually, having that lie down and the massage probably combined, when I did get back up again, I could walk, which was great because I kind of wasn't really able to walk or run when I went to lie down. So, I'm quite a believer that when we sleep and when we really allow our bodies to rest, like that's when all the healing happens. So my intention was to sleep and allow my body to heal and then to be able to run faster and further after having that rest. Obviously, I didn't sleep, but after the rest, I was able to run again and I felt a million times better. So I definitely appreciated it. And I would do the same again if I had the same opportunity. It definitely helped. And just mentally, I felt a lot better. And also, I guess it breaks it down into 2 days. So, thinking, oh, I'm going to run on a treadmill for a solid 48 hours or a solid 2 days, that's quite intimidating. But to break it into
Yeah.
2 separate sections is a little bit easier mentally to absorb. My goal was always to try and do 200 kilometers in the first 24 hours, which I think I did in 23 hours or 22 something. And then that's when I got the sleep in. So I already felt like I was ahead of the game, and that allowed me to go for that little rest. So
Yeah.
it helped me. There definitely wasn't a feeling of, I don't want to get back on the treadmill. I mean, it's not it's not the most exciting activity in the world, but I didn't wake up thinking, oh, don't make me do it. I don't want to do this. And someone having
Yeah,
to convince me into it. There was none of that. I was kind of like, right, let's just get on it. Let's get it done.
you were in a record breaking mood. I mean, of course, one element was getting through it by yourself and just having that mental challenge. But of course, there was an element of, well, you have the world record. So, well, first of all, like, huge congratulations. You have the official, I don't know if it's like full on official yet, but I saw someone was there to make it official.
I have to looking at all of these. I've got witness statements and everything that need submitting before it's official. But yeah.
But you have it. And it's just so I get it right, it's the longest distance run within 48 hours on a treadmill.
Correct. Female. The males, they've got quite bigger numbers, but for female.
Yeah. But oh well, that is really, really cool. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very, very impressive. How much was that in the end, a push? I saw you reach that goal before, so it wasn't like a close finish. You actually significantly, by a decent margin, overshot. How was that feeling when they told you you got it? Like, you still had, I think, like 2 hours left or something. Were you then, okay, this is it? Or didn't it change anything?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was probably not as thrilling and exciting as you might expect it to be, because if you're going to break a record, you always want to try and put as much extra onto it as you possibly can. And I guess in my head it would have been nicer to have gone past the record maybe 5 or 6 hours before the deadline. But when the time came, I was in so much pain physically that I wasn't running very much. I was kind of down to walking. So I was just thinking, I want to try and get as much on top of this record as I can. But I was walking so slowly that everything just seemed to be going so slow. That last kind of 2.5 hours felt like an eternity.